Yesterday, we heard from GOP congressional candidate Carl Boyenton, one of the 3 Republicans running for the 4th congressional district seat in this year's primary. Today, WXXV's Grant Chigazola continues his conversations with the candidates, speaking to another GOP candidate in the 4th district race.
With exactly 1 week to go until primary elections here in Mississippi, we continue our conversations with the candidates that will be on primary ballots here in South Mississippi. Today, we sit down with the other man seeking to unseat first-term Congressman Michael-mcgill in the GOP primary for the 4th Congressional District, Michael-mcgill. And Michael, we do appreciate you joining us.
Thank you for letting me be on here.
First things first, tell our viewers a little bit of background about yourself.
So I just retired from the Army 9 months ago. I did 20 years in the Army, and during that time I was able to travel around the world, see a lot of things. I've been deployed about 4 times, and I've been all over the world and seen some struggles that happen here in Mississippi. And as I see that, I notice that there are issues that are happening all over the United States. So it's not just Mississippi that's having issues. But when I see that 1 in 5 children go to bed hungry every night here in Mississippi, when I see that we rank number 10 in human trafficking, it made me want to come back and run for Congress, because I don't believe that everybody's getting equally represented here in our state. We have some great people that's running, but they have their own agendas, and it's the Republican agenda or the Democratic agenda, but nobody's caring so much about the people that are in the middle, and that's the majority of voters. And so hopefully that's where I can come in and close that gap and be a professional voice for everybody that's voting.
What are some of the key things that, if elected, if you win this primary, move on to the general and win election to Congress, that you would focus on in the 119th Congress?
So I think being a professional would be the first one. Dignity and respect for the Congress. But we rank number 10 in human trafficking. It's the second most lucrative crime in the United States. Our border is wide open. With somebody with military experience like mine, I spent 4 years on the North Korean border holding a rifle, guarding that border. I spent time on the Syrian border, and I know what it takes from the military, also humanitarian side, to close down the border, shut it down, and so we can start seeing who's coming in and out, because as we know that we do have terrorists coming through the border, and it's going to take good border legislation that's already here. We just got to enforce it. We got to hold the president accountable and say, hey, enforce the laws that are taking place today.
What have been some of the issues voters have talked about with you, just throughout this campaign and as you've traveled throughout the 4th District?
The lack of representation. The Republican Party and the Democratic Party are so busy squabbling with one another that they forgot a majority of the voters in the center. They're so busy pushing their personal agendas, the Republican agenda, the Democratic agenda, and then all of us are standing by going, hey, we're over here. What about what we have to say? And so that's one of the things that I hear the most, is that people are frustrated that they're not even their voices aren't being heard anymore by their own people.
And I know it's been a busy 118th Congress, especially with some of the headlines that have come out of the House over the past 2 years. Are you hoping that it's kind of a calmer scene in the next Congress?
I don't think it's going to be. As you know, this Congress we just had is going to be the one that did the least amount of work ever, and I think that we're going to go into that because the parties are too busy squabbling, and we're putting people that enjoy that fight when it comes to the Republicans and the Democrats. And right now, we need more military people in more than ever. Only about 82%, only 82 people are in Congress are veterans. While the other ones squabble amongst themselves, the military's been working together for hundreds of years, and we figure this out. And we know that being professional is the key to success.
What have people's reactions been to your campaign here in South Mississippi, specifically the 4th District?
So people are really excited because they've watched all these candidates fight among themselves, and then I come right down the center, being a good guy, being on both sides left, enjoying talking to Republicans and Democrats the same, and they all have the same message. They just want to be heard. They don't feel that they're being represented equally. And that's kind of one of the things that I bring to the table as a fresh perspective for young Republicans. It allows me to find you Republicans and try to recruit and maintain the retention rate, because the Republican Party is a great place to be, but if we don't find good representation that represents all Mississippians, we're not going to make it.
Real quick, 1 week out from the primary election, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm excited to be part of the political process. Someone that swore an oath to the Constitution, I've been able to defend it, and now I get to be part of that same process. Less than 2% of the United States of Americans have ran for office, and I get to be part of that again.
Michael McGill, thanks for sitting down with me and joining us here on WXXV.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And of course, we'll have this interview and all of our interviews on WXXV25.com.